the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Ebusuafo ya mama kwa baba Nsem-Pii TV so call the office and ministry of Dr. Matthew Opoku Pempe NAPO. The ministry now is successful in signing the first phase of Petroleum Hub, the biggest petroleum hub in West Africa. Also our Western region. Near the history of this project. And Pempenswa aiding Ababedu. Utimi say ebeboa Ghana's economy pa. Amana beye a booming and a booming economy, especially starting from the Western region to precise Chomoro. Now, sa report we first yebe share previous minister Honorable Peter Amewu or Ministry of Energy way back in 2019 or started parliamentary approvals, cabinet approvals for this particular project. Processes some go through. Here Nayaba Environmental Protection Agency Nsem-Pii release a report regarding recommendations Petroleum Hub Authority Corporation Act ratified by Parliament and implementing the $60 billion project. Here we are nearby the first phase of the $60 billion project consisting of $12 billion in Niema Omoye in that particular first phase and a period project now as a take. Young call the first report by Honorable Peter Amewu way back in 2019 on cabinet approval for the biggest petroleum hub in West Africa. Now Honorable Peter Amewu project a government and private led partnership. Say other facilities to say Nsase and ensure and the oil and natural resources private sector for being here and they are implementing our project government and any traditional authority and a bedi in common na secretary bi to families sansas ni omodiano omere ometria na private sector na enya sansas na omode necessary investments about na create jobs na boost to Ghana's foreign direct investment na boost to Ghana's export na improve the general outlook of Ghana's economy. Hopefully in the subsequent years we should expect say Ghana's economy about drew 1 trillion Ghana cedis na the Minister of Finance predicted largely is highly possible. You go into the detail. The cabinet has given approval for the establishment of the much awaited petroleum hub in the Western region to house all infrastructure projects in the petroleum industry. Yabekaya and Nsem-Pii cheddar or as part of the project or person and they improve Ghana. I don't know, say maybe already in the news now the government of Ghana, the new patriotic party, go way ahead already implemented our petroleum hub in West Africa. The hub will accommodate a refinery to process crude oil into various petroleum products and manufacturing plants for the processing of fertilizer from the byproduct of oil. Now, Kofo Bebre na claim say Ghana discover oil. Former President John Jacob Kufuor time. Adinti yentimi and refining tied to top petroleum products on high international market prices, and then that dream has been realized with the introduction of Petroleum Hub Agreement. Now, hub will be accommodating senior kind refinery every processing crude oil into various petroleum products. In the end, say the crude ninkwa ekwa refining asanso diaba aton amagana for where majority of it will be refined in Ghana. Na yaton bi ama local industry. Na yasanso ayeden aton bi ama exported countries. Now, moved by the government forms part of a major initiative to create more jobs in the oil and gas sectors of the economy and to provide investment opportunities for interested companies within and outside Ghana. The hub, which is expected to cover an area of about 20,000 square kilometers, will be developed using the free zone concept. The Minister of Energy, Mr. John Peter Amewu, announced this at the luncheon organized by the American Chamber of Commerce Ghana in Ghana last Friday. Into 20,000 square kilometers and as our project so that is when no more cabinet approval. Now, role of the private sector as the project will be private sector driven, but indicated that government will provide the necessary infrastructure. Government and ever provided in Saseno and almost ever provided the oil, the water, and a near academia and natural resource private companies for no be here to implement this particular project. Explaining the broader intention of the government regarding the project, Mr. Amewu said it was leveraging the strategic location of Ghana to position itself within the sub-region as the major supplier of finished petroleum products. The location of the hub in Ghana would make it easy to transport finished products from Ghana to Cote d'Ivoire and landlocked countries such as Mali and Burkina Faso. To actualize the project on time, he told the participants that the team was recently in the Western region to start negotiating for land to ensure a smooth takeoff. Responding to issues about the challenge in acquiring land for projects in the country, the energy minister then conceded that there were problems associated with land acquisition in Ghana, but gave an assurance that we are seriously in touch with the traditional authorities, while the Lands Commission in the Western region has also been consulted to avoid any hitches. In Juma, Honorable John Peter Amewu Omoyeye regarding the acquisition of land, and no almost smart team me Emma Western region, Emma Omone Ghana Lands Commission for Ekodin Komo. Traditional authorities ekodin komo ntawantawan bia ebesi wo ebesu animu bia no making sure say omo settle omo amicably to ensure say ombenya sa over 200,000 square meters, 20,000 square meters no omo they are implementing the petroleum hub enti insasi bi to say la Cote d'Ivoire, to say Mali, to say Burkina Faso or more baby ensue in Ghana and a major supplier of petroleum products to Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, and then Burkina Faso. Now, on power purchase agreement, Mr. Mo said the government will ensure that the process was transparent. We have a president who believes in democracy and accountability. Into your project, you sign here, you kasa bia kata these are some of the reasons the previous government was voted against. Competitive, transparent, companies bia buy and be complaining foul play. Say nana yede government because obi ide akoje forward. Sansem na MPM in the implementation of Petroleum Hub. The Environmental Protection Agency. Be complaining about. The reports from the Environmental Protection Agency regarding the Petroleum Hub. It raised some of the issues from raising say now on industrialization, industrial planter, a saying sase, a saying issue, a causal land degradation. Via forest reserves, attack Environmental Protection Agency, some drafted reports here, now providing recommendations on how our SAR project implementation now, statement releasing and say, recommendation 1, PHDC must develop and implement an integrated biodiversity management plan. IBMP with consideration for gender and vulnerable and excluded and marginalized. ọmọ yẹ project yi biodiversity ɛsɛ ɔmo yɛ dɛ ɔmo de wɔn a ɔmo di dɛm wɔn a ɔmo ni ahoɔden ɛna mmaa ne mmarima gender balance ne nyinaa ɛsɛ yɛ dɛ ɔmo taking into cognizance nkurɔfoɔ ɔmo bɛ deal in this particular project. Na the riparian buffer zone policy for the management of water bodies and wetlands within the Petroleum Hub must be implemented. Nti sɛ wo use water bodies a ɛyɛ affected ɛsɛ ɔfa kwan bi so a ɔyɛ den ɔsan so restore no back to the original level. Sa buffer zone policy ɛsɛ ɔmo de den ɔmo de di dwuma. Compliance with industrial pollution control limits must be ensured by the necessary collaborators. Nti wɔn a ɛgya hyehyɛ bia smoke bia environmental protection edwuma bia climate change edwuma bia ɛsɛ ɔmo yɛ sɛnea ewiem nsakyerɛeɛ ne saa nneɛma no affecting negatively no ɛsɛ ɔmo de saa nhyehyɛ no etu dwa. Operation of the hub are likely to negatively impact the health and safety of the workers and people living in the nearby communities, including climate change impacts. The Factories, Offices, Shops Act 1970, Act 328, enjoins factories, offices, and shops to indicate welfare facilities provided, notification of operational accidents and illnesses, health and welfare standards, safety measures, compliance related to dangerous conditions and practices, and related matters in Ghana. Nti yewo Factories and Shops Act 1970, Act 328. Ye juma wo factory kwan obefa so ipra obenya nsrahwe se ayaresa se upra ne de kekeka ho no sa kwan ni na no eso mo de sa act 328 no edi juma in the implementation of the Petroleum Hub. There kwa monitoring and evaluation of emission levels, resettlement and compensation which must be adequate and timely, including land ownership acquisition and conflict. Nti move one more tete sansa no so kwan a ombenya baby foforo akwatena sika sem ni siketue ni na eso yomede san tutuye no etu dwa. Inadequate capacity of locals to participate in the development and implementation of the petroleum activities. The establishment of the Petroleum Hub will have a significant economic benefit for Ghana. The key issues identified under the economic pillar include the inadequate capacity of locals to participate in the development of the Petroleum Hub and the creation of jobs and the prevention of job losses. One for more Jomoro constituency. A kwan befa so ombenya say juma ewo Petroleum Hub no sa kwan na say den omo create no omo support timemfo no omo timinya ejuma ewo companies omo ba establish ewo Petroleum Hub. Develop and implement capacity building programs, including relevant technical and vocational skills for local CSOs, academia, traditional authorities, and Association of Ghana Industries, among others, with consideration for women, the vulnerable and excluded and marginalized. Ninti, send you we na send you no omonye trainings beboa omo sa communities ho no mbede omonsa ebeka ejuma. Now you call into the first phase of the project. Na yedi sa report about area. This project was led by the current minister and now the Nkrofo can members of majority caucus for are congratulating on Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, the incoming, the anticipated running mate of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia by many political pundits. Now, in a move to transform Ghana's energy sector, the government of Ghana has signed a $12 billion agreement with TCP-UIC Consortium, which comprises of Touchstone Capital Group Holdings Limited, UIC Energy Ghana Limited, China Wuhan Engineering Company Limited, China Construction Third Engineering Bureau Company Limited, for the development of the first phase of the Petroleum Hub project in the Jomoro municipal area in the western region. This project aims at positioning Ghana as a destination for energy trading in the West African sub-region. Sa vision led by Honorable Peter Amewu and Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh are implementing. Companies are choose for first phase of the project now. Touchstone Capital Group Holdings, or money private sector, UIC Energy Ghana Limited, China Wuhan Engineering Company Limited. Odosha engineering or omo number implementation of welding name containers on be used and a China Construction Third Engineering Bureau Company Limited. Obonoma signing the first phase of the $12 billion Petroleum Hub project. Now, project aims at Ghana ebe the West African supplier of petroleum to La Côte d'Ivoire, Mali, and Burkina Faso. This agreement is a critical step towards President's vision of becoming the regional hub for petroleum refining, storage, and distribution. Yebekaya Dangote in Nigeria almost was refining of petroleum products in a large scale. In Ghana, a follow suit, actually giddy with the signing of this particular agreement. Now, Petroleum Hub is expected to accelerate growth of Ghana's petroleum downstream subsector to make it a major player in the economy, creating jobs, attracting foreign direct investment, and enhancing energy security. Covering over 20 acres of land in the Jomoro municipal area in the Western region, the Petroleum Hub, which is private sector led, will secure investment and development of key ancillary and other infrastructure. The key infrastructure includes 3 refineries, 5 petrochemical plants, and 10 million cubic meter storage facilities, jetties, and port infrastructure. In the 20,000 acres here, Nananum Edema, government of Ghana, some farmer private sector, non-pen developer. Nearma sa companies here are signing first phase of agreement in the BNS. Ombesi 3 refineries Ghana ha. Ombesi 5 petrochemical plants. Ombesi 10 million cubic meter storage facilities. Into crude oil no. The barrels move up to the tune of 10 million cubic and a jetties and a port infrastructure. Acquire on betimi iron the ships unloading and offloading ebekoso was that area ho no metima fancy so I exported out of the country. Ancillary infrastructure and services include embassy power plant, rail and road network, liquefied natural gas terminals, pipelines, water treatment facilities, repairs and maintenance services, nautical services, waste treatment facilities, logistics, security and emergency response center, residential and commercial facilities, light to medium industrial area and recreational centers. In Acadia, amongst our 3 refineries, 10 million cubic meter storage facilities, liquefied natural gas terminals, embassy power plants, embassy rail and road networks, pipelines, water treatment facilities, repairs and maintenance services, nautical services, waste treatment facilities, logistics, security and emergency response center, and a residential and a commercial facilities, into hotels, guest houses, rest places. Sanyemenina Eka Acadia Omodebekans out $12 billion first phase of the project. Now, other services and infrastructure can also come home. A state-of-the-art laboratory for petroleum products, fabrication workshop, metering, calibration services, equipment supplies, logistics services, remote monitoring and diagnostics, lubricant storage and supply, inspection and certification services will also be available. Inti project in the area bubuja kakraka. Now the total project say is expected say ebe cost up to the tune of $60 billion. Now the economic impact is the final one. They say ebe improve Ghana's economy significantly. There is no doubt about that. Petroleum Hub will increase presence of major international oil trading and storage companies, create regional trading champions, encourage joint ventures between local and international companies for knowledge transfer and wealth creation. Into JVs, agreement between local companies and foreign companies because of regional trading champions and oil trading and storage companies and so ombedi juma their presence will be felt in the Republic of Ghana. The local entrepreneurs will have the opportunity to do business with foreign investors in the Petroleum Hub, which will facilitate the financial growth of these enterprises. The Petroleum Hub is expected to create over 780,000 direct jobs and indirect jobs by 2036 into nearly 1 million persons and ebenya ejuma from this particular project. Conclusion: the signing of the 12 billion agreement is more than just a financial transaction. It is a bold step towards economic sovereignty and regional leadership in the petroleum industry. With the combined efforts of the government, industry partners, and the people of Ghana, the Petroleum Hub is poised to become a cornerstone of the nation's economic landscape. Yebeka Ghana for discover oil during former President John Ejekun Kufuor Maraso. Now Kufuor be break doing say infrastructure be BPM. Infrastructure no ebi any the establishment of the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation amaho kwan develop over 20,000 acres of land, all because of the discovery of former President John Ejekun Kufuor